Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central and welcome to another tournament final analysis. This time we are going over the GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly NA Tournament number 2. Big shout out to GosuGamers for letting us use this footage. You can find all of their information in the description below, but let's crack on. We're seeing some familiar faces in this video again, with NotEnigma taking on Hubris, but this time the shoe is on the other foot as Hubris win the final 3-0. It's definitely one of those games where the scoreline doesn't really reflect the games and there's plenty of talking points. Giving his insight as per usual is Mysca. So let's start off by both saying that we're super disappointed to not see Melody in this final, and even Sad Boys, who pretty much came out of nowhere to get into the semis. But really the best two teams ended up in the final again. For the Fish Sticks Invitational that we covered last week, we talked about both teams' playstyle. We said that NotEnigma are better in team fights, especially when they manage to stick together, but Hubris are incredibly strong when pushing in more open areas and spread apart. And the few times they manage to scatter NotEnigma, they even win the team fights. Was it the same kind of story here, Mysca, or was there some changes in the overall playstyles?
NotEnigma are very strong in team fights, yes, their coordination and positioning is most of the time better than Hubris's, and this is why they win a lot of the big mid-game fights at least. For example, they completely turned this fight around here after Hubris's Reaper go for a big Death Blossom. The Sari ult comes out and Reinhardt is there charging in, followed by wild hammer swings which buys enough time for Seagull to pull off a fantastic rocket barrage, and Hubris are completely wiped here. However, NotEnigma still have a hard time towards the end of most maps and games against Hubris, and even lose a couple mid-game fights here and there. Like you said, it's most of the time because Hubris split up and are still able to work as a team to push forward and create chaos for NotEnigma. Overall, both teams' playstyle are very similar from the Fish Sticks tournament, but back then we didn't really get to see many of the new heroes like D.Va for example.
We saw an interesting strategy on the first half of King's Row with NotEnigma attacking as 4 Pharahs. Ultimately this didn't really work and it kinda wasted a lot of time that NotEnigma didn't really have. What do you think they were trying to do here?
Just like Hexagrams and ZP said when casting, they might have picked this with the idea to give Coolmat too many targets to shoot down, to overwhelm Hubris in a way. However, this was not the case and NotEnigma ended up wasting a minute or two because of this strategy failing. But it's always interesting to see teams experimenting with their lineup. Seagull has in the past said that there's not really a perfect formula, even though some heroes are picked more than others, and that NotEnigma at least are definitely experimenting with new and innovative lineups. I hope to see more interesting compositions like this one in the future, and hopefully with more success than this one had.
I feel that throughout a map, at the beginning and middle especially, NotEnigma seemed a lot stronger, but there was an ace up Hubris' sleeve at the end of the map, which was D.Va spam, and NotEnigma have really struggled against this since those Fish Sticks Invitationals. Could you talk about what Hubris managed to achieve with 3 D.Vas, a Reinhardt, a Lucio and a Mercy?
What people refer to as D.Va spam has changed competitive play quite a bit recently. NotEnigma kind of started it, but Hubris seem to have practiced it a bit more and are able to do it better. It certainly helped them a lot in this tournament, and I do feel like multiple D.Vas are very hard to counter. Hubris held out for a long time with triple D.Vas, and we just haven't seen NotEnigma be able to do much about it.
Yeah, it honestly just feels that NotEnigma didn't really have an answer to this. We've seen Torbjorn and Bastion spams give people hell at the end of maps in public games and casual games, but this is a final between 2 of the best teams. Were NotEnigma just missing something, a counter to it, or was this composition a little unbalanced?
Yeah, both you and me know how well it works even in pub games, and there's not really a hard counter to the strategy yet. But this is exactly how metas are created in games, and it's gonna be interesting to see if Blizzard decide to nerf D.Va in a way to not promote this strategy. We got a word from Blizzard that Bastion and Torbjorn reworks are in the works, as they are heroes who are almost worthless in competitive play, but used a lot in public games. So I wouldn't be surprised if they tweak D.Va a little bit as well to see how the community will respond. The beta is here for testing purposes after all.
But ultimately, fair play to Hubris. They're obviously doing something right to have remained unbeaten since the last tournament we covered. A very strong team. Is there any closing thoughts on this week's game and Hubris as a whole that you want to go over?
A fantastic team overall, really, even if you ignore all the diva picks. Some amazing individual talent overall, and cool Matt69, the hit scan god, is just a cherry on top for them. Also a shout out to Esper, somewhat greedy but most of the time incredible resurrects and mercy performance. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens if diva is nerfed slightly. I would love to see some even closer games between Hubris and NotEnigma in the future, as they definitely are two best Overwatch teams out there at the moment, with teams like Melty just behind.
For sure, definitely keep an eye out on all of these teams down the line. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much. Be sure to like or dislike this video, let us know if you want to see stuff like this down the line, and be sure to subscribe for more Overwatch content. Until next time, take care and we will see you then.